All right, good afternoon, traders. Hopefully, everyone is having a great Sunday so far. Now, before I get into the show, I really do want to thank all my subscribers. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. Now, if you're not a subscriber and you happen to be watching the show, go ahead and do so. I really do think you're going to get a lot of valuable information from my technical setups. All right, with that, as you know, today is Sunday. We are going to go over initially the SPY. We are going to go over last week's Sunday's picks, see how well they performed. And then I will give you those three stocks that I think are poised to move higher in the upcoming week. All right, with that, let's check out the SPY. All right, guys. So we did hit that 52-week high back here on Thursday. We are in this upper band over here, which I like to call between that midpoint Bollinger Band and that upper Bollinger Band right there. We're playing in that zone, really nice. I did get a reading on that short-term S&P oscillator that we are in this overbought situation, but I'm not too concerned. These overbought situations can really extend for a while before we see a significant pullback. So that's where I think we are right now. We did do that nice gap on Thursday, have not filled that gap. So for tomorrow, just see how we gap, see how we open. If we do gap lower, let's target this midpoint and 10 SMA right here as initial support. If that gets breached, obviously this 50-day moving average is imperative that we do hold, because if we don't hold that, we're going to clearly go retest those lows from last week on the 4th and 5th of March. Okay, so again, watch how we gap. Now, if we gap higher and we start hitting this upper Bollinger Band for the next 2 or 3, 4 days, consistently squeezing shorts, there's going to be a higher probability at some point we're going to see a significant pullback. But if we do just chop around here and continue just to grind here up and down a little bit, let these moving averages move up, that's a great sign, in my opinion, that S&P oscillator number will come down, right? And then we can continue going higher from there. Okay, guys, that is the S&P. Watch how we gap and play accordingly off those key numbers that I gave you initially, that 10 and SMA, that midpoint Bollinger Band, and then that 50-day moving average right down here. All right, guys, with that, let's quickly go over one stock one of our subscribers, Tim, had asked me about, and that is ZNGA. ZNGA, let's check that out real quickly. Okay, so ZNGA, Tim, we made obviously that 52-week high. We have this trend line, this descending trend line right here. We have this nice support base right here where we made that low from the 5th of March. We've tested that a few times. Now, in my opinion, Tim, we need to get back above this descending trend line. I think that'll be a buy, and then clearly use this support line right down here. Let's call it 975 as our support. So any break below that, we're not too far from that 200-day moving average. So there is again another probability if we do, test and breach that support level right here of 979, let's call it 975, that we will go right down here to this 200-day moving average and see a bounce. So there might be a little bit of a shakeout, but what's important is trying to break above this descending trend line right here. Get above it means a couple of things. We'd get right back into this new value area up here, which is a great sign always, and then play accordingly off of that. So I wouldn't touch this until we get back above that trend line, and then clearly use initially as this support right here at 980, 975 area, and then this 200-day moving average in ZNGA. All right, Tim, thank you for that question on ZNGA. I'll be watching it. All right, with that, let's go over the three stocks that I did recommend from last Sunday, and let's see how they performed. We'll go over this real quickly, and then I'll give you those three stocks that I think that are setting up technically to move into this upcoming week. First one's going to be AKAM, AKAM. So if you remember from last Sunday's show, I said let's get long on AKAM. It did open at 96.79. It did close at 97.53. Went as high as $100, a little over 100. So overall, it was a gain of about a dollar or a little over 1%. Okay, that is Akamai. Second stock that I did recommend was AGR. AGR did open at 46.23 on last Monday. It did go as high as 48.64, closed at 48.30, or about a $4 gain, or about 9.5% gain in that week. Last stock on the list from last week was APHA, APHA. This one was the big winner for us. It did open at 15.62. I did say try to buy this on a pullback close to that 10 SMA, and if you could have gotten a better price from the open right around like 15 and a quarter. I think the low was of the week. It did get as high as 20.63. It did close at $20. or a $4.40 gain for the week, or over a 35% percentage gain in APHA. All right, guys. With that in the books, let's go quickly over the three stocks that I think are technically setting up real nicely going into tomorrow. First one's going to be MX right here. Let's bring up MX. Love the space. Oppenheimer just recently put a nice upgrade on this one. We have the 10 over the 50, 50 over the 200. We're breaking out to new 52-week highs right here. There's very little resistance or shares traded above us. Now, again, let's see how we open on Monday. Let's see what happens. If we do gap lower, let's key on that 10 SMA before taking a position. If we could get real lucky right down here at this midpoint Bollinger Band, that would even be a better trade location. But if you do buy this on a breakout, I really do think this is going to be a great winner for us. So if the market does open higher, rip higher. Now look, if this opens 5, 6, 7% higher on Monday, do not buy this. I mean, and then we're just chasing money, right? So again, just see if we can buy this on a pullback, but I still think by Friday's close, this one's going to be higher than Monday's open. Okay, that is MX. Second stock on the list is going to be BlackBerry, one that we've played in the past. We haven't played it in a while, but I really do like the setup. We had a great day on Friday. It was up 10.5%, a little more than that. So from Tuesday's gap up, we've held that nice gap, even though we had some bad market conditions. We did not only close above that 10 SMA, that midpoint Bollinger Band, then finally on Friday, we did breach that 50-day moving average. We're right here near that upper Bollinger Band. If I see a takeout of Friday's high on this one on Monday, I will get long. But then again, if we do gap lower, I am going to target this 50-day moving average initially to take a position right down here at 1135, or even better so right down here at that 10 SMA, right down here at 1065, 1075 area. There should be a lot of support. Now, again, if you get in this name and we're lucky enough to get this on a pullback, where is our stop? Our stop is going to be right here from the 8th of March. A break below that, that means this whole move was wrong and it's probably going to go lower. Okay, so watch that key level. Get long either on a nice little pullback if we see the markets come in a little bit, or on a breakout of Friday's high, and then clearly use the low right down here of let's call it 919. So let's call it $9 on BlackBerry. Okay. Last stock on the list before I let you go for the weekend rather, is going to be one that is dear to my heart. One stock that I really like. I think it's going a lot higher, so I am a little biased on this one, but I think trade location could be key. Is MARA. Now, let me predicate this on. I do think that. Bitcoin's appreciation in price over the weekend might have an effect on MARA, so this might not be the best fit for our traders right here. But if you can get this on a pullback, I think this would be a great addition to your portfolio. So again, we were looking at the chart. We have the 10 over the 50, 50 over the 200. We're not too far, maybe I would say 20% off the 52-week highs. We have very little inventory or shares traded above us. We have a Tuesday, we have a conference of the miners coming up. And then lastly, we have Bitcoin at 52-week highs. We have we just have a lot of catalysts, a lot of things going on this name. Hopefully we can get a pullback in this one. I'd love to add to my position on this, but I'm very happy with the position size that I do have. So if this does run, I'm not going to complain. But again, watch this one on a pullback. I do think if we can get above this 43.67 on Monday, which I think we shall, this is really going to be a big winner. So watch this again. Put this on your list. See if you can get on pullback. Some key numbers on this is going to be clearly this 10 SMA right down here, which happens to be at 35.80. That midpoint Bollinger Band right there at 36.61. So again, guys, if you can get this on a pullback, great. If you can't, buy this on a breakout, and then clearly you're going to see a lot of buyers step in as soon as we breach that 49.41. So again, try to limit your trade size on this on a breakout, because it could clearly reverse, and then you'd want to have a little bit of money on the sidelines to put to work in case we do come back and we could get better price location. Okay, trade location on this. Okay, that is MARA. Big fan of that one. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. My name is Eric. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below in that comment section. I'll make sure to get back to you as quickly as possible on any questions you may have. All right, again, if you are joining me for the first time and you like the show, please go ahead and subscribe. I really do think you're going to get a lot of valuable information from my technical analysis. I give you ins, the outs, why we're getting in, why we're getting out, things that just make sense. All right, everyone. Thank you again for joining me. Have a great remainder of the weekend. We will see you Wednesday after the close with a midweek market recap. And remember, guys, trade smart and be safe.